It's always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, lled. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed. It's always lit over at AJsRANTroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, lled. So get on over to AJsRANTroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed. My God, my God, my God. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome in. I know we're a little late. I don't know what it is. Like, even if I have like 4 hours, it feels like the 4 hours to prepare a show go by so fast. And then I'm like scrambling. And this is so dumb because I was prepared. And then it just seemed like the stuff that I was adding in at the last minute, even though it wasn't a lot, it just felt like it feels like a chore. Like it's like, damn, I gotta pull this, I gotta pull the video, I gotta pull a graphic. Anyway, can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? We all good here. I don't have my glasses on. I don't even know where they are at the moment. Give me 1 second. Oh, excuse me. I'm literally a whole mess right now. And we're gonna get through this. And we got a lot to get through today. So hope everybody had a great weekend. Where's the charger? Hope everybody had an amazing weekend and a restful one. I sure didn't, but it is what it is. It's the life I chose. Hope all is good in your respective universes, and we will get into it in about 5 seconds. All right, there's my notes. Cool. Stick you there. And let's hold on. Let me see what's going on. We good. What's good? All right. Oh, put my glasses. Where the hell are they? Oh, there they go. Blending in with the damn desk. I can't be. I must be ugly. There we go. We're ready now. All right. It's September. Wow, it's crazy. It's like once we get past June, it just seems like the rest of the year just flies by. And we have no time for anything. Anyway, let's talk about Karen's gone wild at the Phillies game last week. I'm sure you all have heard about this fiasco, this mess, this this stupidity, this craziness. But here's the thing. This is why people say you never know who's watching. This is why and I'm gonna put y'all on to why y'all never know who's watching. So father and son at the Phillies game doing their thing. I believe it was the little boy's birthday, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, you at the game with your kid, right? Uh, 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 home run, boom, the home run hits the seat. You rightfully get the ball, right? And you bring it over to your son. Your son's happy. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And then Karen comes marching over, screaming and yelling, pointing a finger in the face, getting all rowdy. And then you see the father with his fist clenched because he's like, yo, you touch this little boy, I'm going to lay your ass out. Here's the whole exchange. So obviously everyone's hunting for this woman on social media. They thought it was one woman. They went to her Facebook page. She had all this anti-Trump stuff, but it wasn't her because the woman ended up saying, look, I'm not even a Phillies fan. I'm a Red Sox fan. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I don't even know why y'all over here bothering me. So regardless if she voted for Trump or not, y'all bothering the wrong person, right? That's kind of like when Beyonce's fans went and attacked Rachel Ray because Rachel, I think Zoe was her name, because another Rachel they thought was a person that Beyonce had mentioned in the song. So they went and attacked the talk show host, Rachel Ray. First of all, Rachel Ray, why would Rachel Ray is she seems, at least on camera, like one of the nicest people in the world. What does Rachel Ray want with Jay-Z? What she want with Jay-Z? Oh my goodness. What happened to my notes? Okay, there we go. And so y'all attacked the wrong woman, people who were mad at the Karen at the baseball game. But here's the thing. So dad catches the home run ball. It was fair and square. You saw, right? He bent down, he got the ball, brought it over to his kid, right? Um, Karen comes over, he surrenders the ball to the Karen, which he later apologized to his son for doing, but it didn't matter because guess what? A Marlins employee saw what happened and gave the young man a very nice gift bag full of gear. Bam. So they were like, yo, because here's the thing, there are jumbotrons everywhere. So, and especially when you hit a home run, hot lights, wherever that ball goes, hot lights. So you don't act up. That's not the moment to act a fool, right? And so then I guess I don't know, this was at Philly. I believe it was at Philly. So the visiting team was the Marlins, I believe. And so an employee from the Marlins saw what happened, and then he gave the young man a thing, the bag full of gear. And then the Phillies found out what happened, and so they was like, "Yo, I can't believe that happened." So they invited the father and son into the locker room. Beautiful, right? They're like, "Oh my gosh!" They're like, we're in the locker room, and then Harrison Bader, who was he was the player that hit the home run. He signs a bat for little man. Signs the bat for him. Ooh, life is good, right? We weren't expecting all these amenities, for a crazy woman running up to us and snatching the ball from us. Then the CEO of Camping World saw what went down and gave them tickets to the World Series. But he said, yeah, I'm not only going to give you tickets to the World Series, I'm also going to gift you an RV. So now you got a gift bag with all this cool stuff in it from the visiting team. You get a signed bat from the player that hit the home run. Then you get tickets to the World Series, and now you got an RV. Now you're getting press, and I'm sure other people are giving other things and gifting y'all, because this was just insanity. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, you don't act a fool when the white lights are on you. When the lights are the hottest, that's not the moment to act stupid. Right? Just like it's not the moment to be at the concert with your side piece at the Coldplay concert when you know they have the cam that goes around during the concert looking for lovers in the audience. So yeah. So the shout out to this pops. I understand apologizing to your son because you should have never surrendered that ball, but you just wanted to get her out of your face before she got any more reckless. And then there was another video, but I didn't have time to upload it, where she was arguing with other people who were like, "Yo, what the hell are you doing?" First of all, it's when all is said and done, I don't care what sport it is: football, baseball, soccer, hockey, basketball, whatever. If a player throws something or something goes into the audience and you don't get it, I mean, even if you did get it, what are you gonna do with it? You're a grown ass woman, right? He's a little boy. I think the memento will mean more to him when he grows up than for your grown, old, gray, dusty ass, right? What you gonna do? Take the ball home and do what? Lick it? Mhm. That might be too easy because she don't look like she licks balls. But I'm just saying, she may very well. I'm just saying she don't look like she does. She may very well get it in. I don't know. She may have a husband and kids and all of that. I don't know. I don't know. But you have a ball, and now he has tickets to the World Series. So good luck, lady. And they probably found out who you are by now after they attacked the wrong woman. But because social media be on it like hawks. They be on it. They don't let anything slide. But this is just a tall tale. This is the lesson. The lesson. Yeah, that's the lesson. Anyway, moving on. Before I say any more crazy stuff. So shout out to all of the loathsome white liberals, black liberals, leftists, crazy lunatics who come into our spaces. Oh, Republicans don't like you. They'll never accept you. You're not the, all this stuff from outside the club, right? Right. Like I'm going to go someplace that won't accept me, don't like me, don't care that I exist, whatever. Why would I do that, first of all? And secondly, aren't y'all the ones who do that? Y'all the ones begging these people to put y'all in corporate jobs that you didn't earn. Even hell, y'all even asking them to stock shelves, and y'all can't even do that properly. You can't even keep the damn pickles off the veggie burger. But it's the white man's fault. We need $50 an hour to wrap these burritos. Yeah, all of that. But this whole myth that white Republicans don't support black candidates, which is stupid as hell, because every black candidate, every black congressional rep and senator on the Republican side that's there now were put there by white people. You had Barack Obama because of white people. Slavery ended because of white people. Yeah, I know y'all don't want to face that reality, but yeah, over 300,000 white people died to free the slaves. Gave their lives. So this whole notion that white people don't support black people and that every white person is this rabid racist bigot and they'll never support you in polk is stupid. It's dumb. And so when it comes to Byron Donalds, who turned down a position in the Trump cabinet because he wanted to run for governor of Florida, because of course he's black. He doesn't have a choice in this, that's how these idiots see it, right? He's black. Trump offered him something. He should take it, right? Not go the way he wants to serve the people, but he should just do this just for his career, right? No, but he wants to be governor of Florida. And so he had a fundraiser in a meeting last week. And here's the reception. Look at those racist white people cheering, calling his name, yelling, "Woohoo, Byron, we love you." Look at those bigots. Now, he's a congressional rep. Why? Because of white people, like I said. And John James and Burgess Owens and Tim Scott's a senator because of white people. I believe Ant was there. He probably was. And so if you're there because of white people and you're going to say that white people don't support black candidates, this is stupid because there's no black Republican that's in the Senate or the or the House who were supported by black. None of them. They don't come from black districts. They come from white districts, majority white districts. Why? Because you blacks are dumb. Y'all see R and black and y'all lose your mind. It's like all sense go out the window, right? Don't look into them. Don't care what they have to say unless they're going to feed your emotions. And your emotions is what's getting in the way of you succeeding. But no, 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 no. It's the white black. And I had this conversation in my live the other day. You know, someone's like, "Oh yeah, well, you know, because you're black." I was like, if people use the color of their skin to not try, that's that's the stupidest reason to not try. I'm black. I'm not gonna get it. I'm black. I'm not. And even if you don't get it, is it because you're black or is it because you just didn't have the best message? Is it because you're black or you're just not good at whatever it is you think you should be doing? You know, just because you're black doesn't mean you're entitled to it. Just like you're not entitled to a position in the Trump administration, right? You're not entitled to that. You have to earn it, right? And I find it funny that the same black people who won't go anywhere near the Trump administration is mad that the Trump administration doesn't have more black people in the cabinet. Well, yeah, you mofos are not applying. And the same thing with the internships at the White House. Y'all ain't applying. They send the same internships to the HBCUs. They send it there, and I don't know if the HBCUs posted or not, but they send it out to everybody. You know, so if your major is political science usually or whatever or something in government, then yeah, they'll send it to your school. Hey, do you want to be an intern in the White House? I mean, hello, what better place to cut your teeth than in the White House, right? But no, it's Trump. It's the big daddy. It's Hitler. It's Hitler. Good luck to Byron Donalds, who's most likely will get the Republican nomination for governor. And then on top of getting the nomination for governor, most likely he will be the next governor of Florida. And if he isn't the next governor of Florida, it won't be because he's black. Just like they try to do the same thing with Daniel Cameron, right? They try to do the same thing with Daniel Cameron in Tennessee. Now, y'all, the black people in Tennessee, especially Memphis, I don't even know why y'all talk. That ghetto should just be eradicated from the United States. But they're like, oh, well, see, Daniel Cameron ran. He was a black Republican in Kentucky and he didn't win. Okay, so was he guaranteed to win because he's black? It's stupid. It's a stupid thing to do. And then I analyzed it, and this was a conversation I was actually having in my live stream the other day. And I looked at the counties that Daniel Cameron won. First of all, he won the majority of the counties in Kentucky. Right. He won the majority of the counties. Where he didn't win, you know where he didn't win? The densely blue, overpopulated sections of the state that have the majority of the vote. So, in other words, black people did not rally around Daniel Cameron. Now, what was the main reason they didn't rally around Daniel Cameron? Because of that whole Breonna Taylor thing. And you know what pisses me off about that whole Breonna Taylor thing is that they never blamed the boyfriend who used her as a human shield. That's who y'all should be sending up the river. But no, it's Daniel Cameron. It's Daniel Cameron. No, it's the boyfriend that put her in front of him. And knowing damn well that raid was for him. They were at the right house. They were at the right place, doing the right thing. Yeah. So again, protecting criminality and not taking accountability, and then holding a black Republican accountable. Because I could promise you, if Daniel Cameron was a black Democrat, he'd be governor of Kentucky right now. Anyway, moving on. Hyundai, you got some splaining to do. I don't speak Korean, and I don't think Jay Lee is here. This would be a perfect time for Jay Lee to be here. Maybe he's busy this morning. He's usually here. But so they popped the Hyundai plant in Georgia. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um uh, wait, wait. Something went wrong here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, hold on. Duplicate. Now we're gonna go here. Boom. And then we're gonna replace this with a video because I thought I had it here. I did have it. I probably accidentally deleted it because I was rushing.
We're following a massive.
All right, wait. You wait. Like you said, set it off. You wait, damn it. Oh, wait. It's right there. See, this is, I don't know. My mind's playing tricks on me. Anyway, so they popped the plant. Here's what they found.
Following a massive ICE raid at a Hyundai plant in Georgia, officials say roughly 450 undocumented migrants were apprehended. Now, Thursday's raid was carried out by multiple state and federal law enforcement agencies, including ICE, the FBI, and the Georgia State Patrol. I want to bring in CNN's Isabel Rosales, who's been monitoring this. So, Isabel, what is the latest this morning?
Omar, good morning. With more than 450 people apprehended, this marks what appears to be one of the largest ICE raids at a single site in the 22-year history of this agency. Now, here's what we know. This happened at the Hyundai Meta plant site. This is in Ella Bell, Georgia. This is just 25 miles or so west of Savannah. And according to the Associated Press, this raid stopped construction of this factory that's being built to produce batteries for electric vehicles. This same site, this same project, this was touted by Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp, who called it the largest economic development site in the state's history. Now, we have video that we're showing in pieces here of masked and armed agents there at the site, giving out orders while officers raided the facility. We can also see workers here in hard hats and vests. They were lined up as this was ongoing. On site was ICE, Georgia State Patrol, FBI, DEA, ATF. They were executing, Omar, a search warrant that DHS says is part of an ongoing criminal investigation into this, quote, allegations of unlawful employment practices and other serious federal crimes. They're saying that this sends a clear and unequivocal message, too, that they're taking this very serious. And here is the special agent in charge, what he had to say about this raid.
We are making many arrests of undocumented individuals. We have encountered many lawful employees working here, United States citizens and lawful permanent residents, and they are, of course, being released.
Meanwhile, Hyundai says it is cooperating with law enforcement, saying this: we are committed to abiding by labor and immigration regulations. And meanwhile, Omar, on this same day, hundreds of miles away in upstate New York, another large raid at a work site. Dozens of workers at a family-owned plant that makes nutrition bars were also apprehended during an ICE raid. CNN affiliate WSTM reports that about 60 workers were detained. New York's governor condemned this raid, saying it doesn't make their streets safer. And the owner of that nutrition plant told the New York Times that the workers had legal documentation to work in the U.S., calling this ICE raid a, quote, overkill. Omar.
Well, Isabel, thank you for bringing us those details. The scale of those raids, notable at the very least.
If you have your papers and ICE comes in, you will have no problems. You see how that works? If you have your permit to work in the United States or your visa, whatever it is, ICE is going to say, okay, go. I mean, you're clear. You know what's so funny about this plant, other than the governor being an idiot and not, making sure he had eyes on this and making sure the right people were being hired for this? It's been revealed that the Hyundai battery plant raided in Georgia, being operated almost entirely by illegals, is the same facility built with $5 billion as part of a Biden administration investment to bring jobs back to America. Yeah. How we get here? How we get here? Um, there was one video, I don't have it, of this Hispanic woman who literally hid for 5 hours. She literally recorded herself hiding as they're raiding the plant. They're gonna catch up to you, lady. Like, you're not gonna get away with this. You think it'll come back here tomorrow? Like, here's the thing: if you got your papers, you ain't got nothing to worry about. If you don't have your papers, you go back and do it the right way. You know, and I could promise you there were probably pay discrepancies in that. I can promise you that. Um, because they know that you can't fight for you can't fight for the money you want to make in doing these jobs. You're not entitled to the same breaks. You're not entitled to the same work hours. Yeah, nothing. Probably not. You're not entitled to overtime. Yeah, all of that stuff. All of that good stuff. So the New York governor protecting because I don't know why they reelected that ugly woman. First of all, whatever. But Georgia, get it together. And then the Biden administration, okay, yes, just handing out checks and not making sure that American workers build an American factory for Americans to work in. Because who do you think was they're probably going to hire in that factory once it was finalized? Not Americans. So here we go. Once again, pointing out the stupidity, pointing out the slaves that they want to keep. Because basically what the governor said is, we want our slaves. We want to keep our slaves. How dare you? Ridiculous. And we're bored. This is I'm glad this got popped. And then I actually have two videos, but I think I'm only going to play one of them from people reacting.
450 illegal immigrants were just arrested in an automotive plant for Hyundai in the state of Georgia. 450 illegal immigrants were working in the Hyundai plant in the state of Georgia, and they were apprehended. I don't think people truly grasp what this means or how this reflects this country or how it correlates to how so many of you are struggling to make ends meet or support a family. A lot of you guys bring up the fact that back in the 50s, a man could work at an auto plant and make enough money to support his family, raise children, have a household, and have a good quality of life. But
I have a brother-in-law. He's a Jamaican immigrant, has all his papers, everything's legit. He works at a factory in Texas. He makes very good money. He has that factory he works in is the highest paying factory in that town in Texas. He makes a great salary. He works very hard. He works crazy hours, but if they pop the plant, he ain't going nowhere. All his paperwork is legit. You see the difference?
the American dream is dead because every time I try to find a job, I can't find one that makes a livable wage. That's why, because that's who you're competing with. Because those auto workers were middle-class workers, right? They used to be all unionized, and they had benefits, and they had good pay, and they had pensions, and now you've got illegals coming in working for peanuts, even though the price of cars keeps going up. Facts. And now you can't find a job to be able to support yourself. Facts. 450 blue-collar American jobs just in that town alone were stolen by illegal immigrants from that one plant. And there are thousands of auto plants all over this country.
And we're not supposed to do our due diligence and go through those plants and make sure we get out the people that y'all are paying under the table or underpaying, because we need our slaves.
It really makes you wonder how many tens of thousands, if not millions, of Americans are missing out on those blue-collar middle-class jobs where they could support their lifestyle, have a family, live the American dream. They're incapable of it. The irony is people can come here from other countries undocumented, cross our border illegally, and pursue supporting their own family, but Americans that are born here can't. This isn't a race problem. This isn't a lack of acceptance of other people's culture problem. Facts. This is people coming here and completely destroying our economy and destroying our middle class. This is what the death of the middle class looks like. An inability to get a job where you can support yourself, where Americans historically used to be able to, because people are coming here illegally and working those jobs for next to nothing because they weren't raised here, so they don't know the value of an American dollar. And as a result, we all suffer.
Facts.
If you're struggling to support yourself or to be able to raise a family yourself or have your own household, then you're asking yourself why. This should piss you the hell off.
Facts. 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 If you're sitting here co-signing this bullshit,
why y'all?
hold on. I got you in a second. Why would you co-sign that? That doesn't help you as a man. Also, that's a good one, Pat. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure cars go through hella tests before they get on the road. But what if they don't know what they're doing? What if they mess up? And isn't that more money to send it back to fix things, to get things up to code so you can get them on the market? I mean, that's more money right there too. So I don't know. I don't know. I understand wanting to work, and on the RAN experience, which we'll talk about in a second. I'm going to play a video that addresses. I'm going to play a video that addresses this very thing, as to why illegal immigration is wrong. Because what we get a lot in our live streams is, oh, you're a Christian and you don't want immigrants. Jesus was an immigrant. Yeah, so we're just supposed to be lawless and borderless and have no rules and no formality of how to do things. Meanwhile, everybody else in the world can have it. Just not an American. That's not an American. You can't have borders and rules and laws and ways of doing things and standards. You're just supposed to accept every old tired dusty that wants to come across the border. It's not how that works. Anyway, let's hear this lady.
Why y'all out here getting crazy mad about Donald Trump? He's still doing the motherfucking thing.
Facts.
I live in the state of Georgia, and they had raided the Hyundai factory in Georgia, and they arrested 475 immigrants working in there. And as they were bringing them out, I saw iPhones, I saw name brand clothes on these immigrants, I saw all this stuff. Hyundai fucked up and ignored all protocol and hired a whole bunch of illegals. Now what, Hyundai? What the fuck you gonna do now? They done detained 475. And then when you looked at the parking lot, they had all them nice vehicles, all at the motherfucking American expenses. And then some of y'all, they just here to work. Well, while they were here, why didn't they want to get legal? Y'all just kill me with the bullshit. I'm glad ICE doing what the fuck they do. ICE keep up the good goddamn work. And Hyundai, one question. Are y'all hiring?
Oh, y'all hiring? Because sister need a job. You just got to pay her rate. Exactly. And then the money you spent on the car or whatever, you could have literally gone and applied and got your legal papers. But the cash was good. We got a $5 billion grant from the Biden administration with no guardrails. So let's just blow the cash. Ridiculous. What an absolute waste. And y'all let that mush brain in the White House. Well, y'all didn't really let him in there, but y'all believe y'all let him in there. This is only going to keep happening. It's only going to get worse. And they're not going to be able to pop every factory and every work plant in 4 years, but they're going to do as much as they can. So great job, Trump administration. Just keep doing it. And to the Republican governors, stop covering this stuff up. Go check on these plants before the Trump administration gets there. All right, cool. They're probably already on. You're probably already marked anyway. Anyway, moving on. Yes. Charlie Sheen has a documentary coming to Netflix. I believe it's on Wednesday. It premieres on Wednesday on Netflix. And he's talking, there's some interesting things that are leaking about it. Oh yeah, I had same-sex relations and other stuff and blah, 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 blah. But that's not what I care about. That's not what I want. I don't care about that part of the documentary. I want to know, and I'll come back after. I'm going to play the trailer and then I want to see, because I didn't recall seeing it in the trailer, but I want to see in the trailer if you're going to address what I need you to address in this documentary, because you did say that nothing was off limits, and I don't know. I don't know, but we'll see. That's nice. That's very, very, very nice. But did we see Corey Haim and Corey Feldman in that trailer? Did we see the Coreys? Were the Coreys in there? Because, for years, it's been rumored, and I recently just found this out, and this really annoys me because Charlie Sheen is in my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies of all time that I've seen I don't know how many times, and that's a movie called Cadence. So this was before he was like Charlie Sheen, right? This is when Lawrence Fishburne was still Larry Fishburne. That's how old the movie is, right? This is when the start of their careers. And if this is true, I don't know. Can you separate the man from the art? Is this like an R. Kelly thing? Can you separate the man from the art? I don't know. I don't know. Can you separate Heathcliff Huxtable from Bill Cosby? I don't know. Anyway, here are the Coreys. And we all know that Corey Haim passed away, and there was a lot of stuff. He went through hell in Hollywood as a child actor.
I can destroy you right now, and you know it.
Corey, I'm sitting right
here. I don't need to do that. I don't have to do that.
Corey, I'd love to see you even attempt to do something like that.
Are you kidding me?
Do I look like I'm kidding you right now?
You're an easy target, bro.
I'm right here. Let's do this. I'm right here. Hit me with the hardest bull you got.
Now, why would I want to try and hurt you?
Corey, you're opening up to the world about me having a knife in my pocket, and the reason I wear this, man, is like to cover up some scars I have, because like I used to cut into myself, because it's a way to feel. I hear, and like mentioning that, you just rip the envelope, man. I'll go you one better. You let me get around in my life, man, raped, so to speak, when I was about 14 and a half, and I'm saying this right now, by the guy you still hang out with, and tell me I'm 14 and a half, take responsibility. You know exactly what I'm talking about. What'd you do, man, when you saw that going down when I was 14 to me? What'd you do? You knew about it. Besides being his best friend. What'd you do? Tell us what you did, man.
I believe
Lines of cocaine with me. God bless you.
You want to talk about the truth? Okay, well, then let's talk about the truth. I was being molested at the same time by somebody else. What'd you do?
Wow.
What'd you do?
Talk to you about it.
You talked to me about it?
Yeah, sure. You told me while I was sleeping, this happened. I'm like, dude, you weren't sleeping? Yeah, I was sleeping. Tried to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Were you?
All right. So obviously these two were preyed upon as child actors in Hollywood, and it was rumored that Charlie Sheen raped Corey Haim. And I'm gonna play this clip with this was after Corey Haim passed away, and so then Corey Feldman, I guess, felt the need to carry the torch, and then of course there are people who counter Corey Feldman saying that it wasn't Charlie Sheen, it was somebody else, but I don't know. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
He went into great detail. He told me, Charlie bent me over in between two trailers and put Crisco oil on my butt.
Jesus.
And raped me.
Wow.
In broad daylight, anybody could have walked by, anybody could have seen it.
On the set of Lucas, he told me that, it was his co-star. And he told me that it was Charlie Sheen that did it.
That on a movie he had worked on. And then I said, well, who is it? And then he says, Charlie. Charlie, who named it? Charlie Sheen.
So I heard that Charlie Sheen he had said to him, this is what men do.
Shit, I've personally heard a story about Charlie and Corey Haim. Probably at least a dozen people probably in my inner circle knew, for sure. It was pretty much common knowledge. I mean, Charlie Sheen was diddling him on the set of Lucas.
But what Corey Haim told me when I was sitting with Feldman in the office of the house in Vancouver, that he had been molested on the set of Lucas. And he said it was Charlie Sheen.
Jesus. So Charlie, I need to know, is this addressed? I guess I have to watch the documentary to see if you address it. It says nothing is off limits. You said nothing, right? So if nothing is off limits and they didn't ask you about this, either they asked you about it and you cut it out, or you told them to omit it altogether and they never asked. So yeah, I understand causing your family pain and the drug use and the HIV and all that other stuff. I get it. But yeah, are we going to address this? Yeah, are we going to address that? I'll let y'all know. If you don't want to watch it, I'll watch it for you and I'll give you a report on well, no, not Thursday, because Thursday is the 9/11 show. I'll give you an update on Friday. So anyway, all right. So now the last two stories, of course, have to be somber, and I should have probably had a meme or something to close out on a happier note, but it's fine. We'll live. We're grown. Anyway, so this animal on the left murdered this beautiful young woman on the right. And then threw her body off a bridge. She hits the pavement at the bottom. Boom, threw her there like she was a piece of wrapping for gum or a water bottle, like insignificant. And the animal on the left is an illegal immigrant. And the woman on the right is named Dakara Thompson. Yeah, you know. Yep. So when we talk about illegal immigration, you know, I know we know the Lake and Rileys and all that other stuff, but there's so many other victims, right? What is it? Larisha Thompson in South Carolina, the little baby Ivory in Texas, killed by an illegal drunk driver, et cetera, et cetera. We can go on a list. Watch the news report because I don't want to get into it just yet.
Shows her parking her car on Jasmine Terrace, getting out and walking towards Riggs Road. Friday, new court documents revealing that she apparently continued walking toward University Boulevard and is then seen on surveillance cameras talking to the driver of a black GMC Yukon XL Denali, getting in on the passenger side and leaving. Police say cell phone records show she remained in that car until they arrived to Cambridge Road in Bowie. It's there where police believe she was killed by a man named Hugo Hernandez Mendez in the early morning hours of August 23rd.
We believe the murder occurred in the home on Cambridge Drive in Hernandez's bedroom.
Investigators believe he then took her body the same morning to Route 50 between Route 424 and Route 97 and threw her over the bridge above South River. It was more than a week later, around 5 p.m. on August 31st, that police would find her body. They had responded to the bridge for a disabled vehicle and happened to see her about 30 feet below the bridge on the river embankment.
That area is probably about 7 miles away from the murder location, but a good distance away from where she went missing. So we are thankful that the Maryland State Police had the ability to locate that body based on that call for service.
Just by chance, they found her. By chance. They weren't even looking for her. So should we say it's divine that the vehicle became disabled right there at that location, and they just happen to look over and say, oh, that looks like a human being down there. Then come to find out she's been down there for a week. She was 19 years old. Dakara Thompson was 19 years old. She had her whole life ahead of her. She had dreams. I'm sure she had ambitions, a future that probably was just, you know how it is when you're 19. You think you can take on the world. Everything's open to you. But now she'll never have the chance, right? And you know why? Because we had a president named Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., who thought it was a brilliant idea to open the floodgates and allow millions of unvetted illegal immigrants into our country. Now, I'll say this straight up. Yes, some of these people are good, but many of them criminals, violent, ruthless, people who have no allegiance to this flag, no respect for this Constitution, and no love for this culture we've built here. And the moment folks like me raise a concern, the moment we said, hey, this is dangerous, this is reckless, this is a threat to Americans, what did we get hit with? Oh, this is just right wing fear mongering. That's just racist dog whistles, xenophobic. That's conspiracy. Oh, that's not really happening. And then, we get, oh, more Americans commit crimes than illegal immigrants. Well, how many people need to get killed, maimed, hurt, lives destroyed by illegal immigrants before you wake the hell up and realize that illegal immigrants need to be vetted? When would you get there? It's not a conspiracy. It's called reality. And the reality is her name is Dakara Thompson. That's the reality. Because of Biden's failed policies, because of Democrats insisting on harboring and protecting these criminals, Dakara will never finish her education. She'll never walk down the aisle. She'll never have children. She'll never live out her life's purpose. Her family is left to sit in that pain forever, mourning what could have been instead of celebrating what should have been. And I don't care who doesn't like this. That man who killed her was an animal. And to that animal and every single one like him, we will not stop until you're out of this damn country. That is an absolute promise. See, this is why I support mass deportations. Not because of some political slogan, I'm MAGA, blah, blah, blah. No, it's because this is about life and death. It's about safety. It's about the government doing its job, protecting the people. That's the main job of the government, protect the people. And when you don't protect the people, then the people will start speaking up. And let's get even deeper. This so-called compassion the Democrats brag about, letting millions of illegals stay here under the table, it's modern day slavery. That's the way I see it. These folks demand a livable wage. These folks can't demand a livable wage. They can't demand unionization. They can't push back against exploitative bosses. Why? Because they have no damn rights. They have no legal claim to this land. So corporations and shady employers treat them like disposable labor while Americans get put at risk. That's not compassion. That's cruelty. And while they play politics with immigration, the list of victims keep growing. It's not just Dakara in Maryland. It's Larisha Thompson in South Carolina. It's Laken Riley in Georgia. It's 7-year-old Ivory Smith in Texas. And countless more names we don't even hear about because the media will not cover it. These are young women, children, everyday people who weren't protected by the very government officials who swore an oath to defend the Constitution and the people of this country. The oath means nothing if it doesn't protect Americans first. It means absolutely nothing. So let's be clear. This is unacceptable on every level. No family should have to endure this kind of heartbreak. No community should have to fear who is lurking in their neighborhoods because Washington lied and failed to do their damn jobs. This was avoidable. Every one of these tragedies was avoidable, and the blood is on the hands of the people who insisted our borders stay wide open. Remember Kamala Harris, our border czar? Blood is on her hands too. Dakara, we speak your name and we demand justice, not just for you, but for every innocent life stolen by policies that should have never been passed. Enough is enough. Secure the border. Deport these criminals. Protect Americans first. Period. Dot. No apologies. I'll never apologize for that. And nor should you ever. Because you'll have people who come in and point out all of this other stuff to bob and weave and deflect. And we often have a problem just facing the truth, taking accountability. And it's absolutely ridiculous that we have to point out to people that there's a problem while at the same time they tell us that there is no problem. But at the same time, they're holding up flags of foreign nations in the country that they get the privilege to do that in, because you couldn't do it in any other country. You think you can go to France and hold up an American flag or Mexican flag? You'd be gone. I hope this animal rots in hell. And may Dakara's family find as much peace of mind and I mean, there's really nothing you can say in this situation. It's just a messed up situation all around. Anyway, rest in peace and go to hell, you. But we'll be right back. All right. So on to the main course. So that was sort of the 1A and the 1B. So this is the 1B story, which absolutely pissed me off. And in fact, hold on one second because I was having trouble. Let me see if I can upload it as an overlay because I want the actual image of this animal and all of his mugshots. Let's see if it will upload as an overlay because it wouldn't upload to the screen for some reason. Oh, it did. Okay, perfect. So we'll use that in a moment. So picture it. You fled Ukraine because of the war. You go to the United States for a better life. You know, hopefully you can start a life there, you know, get your life figured out, you know, because things are popping off and crazy in your home country. They allow you into the country. You come into the country for the most part. You're an upstanding citizen. You're working at a pizza shop, and you know you're starting in America, starting all over in America, and you're on the train after your shift, minding your business, looking at your phone, unaware that there's an animal sitting right behind you that's about to take your life, and you don't even see it coming. That's crazy.
Long for around 4 minutes with nothing unusual happening. Then around 9:50 p.m., Brown reaches into a pocket. We've zoomed in on it here. He pulls out a pocket knife. No one notices a thing. Seconds later, he would stand up, and from behind, unprovoked as we stop the video, he would stab the young woman several times. She had no chance to defend herself. The attack was over in seconds, and when it was over, Brown walked through the train attempting to get off. Few passengers, if any, at first realized.
So they didn't realize at first that what had happened. Nobody had realized it, and then they saw the blood dripping from him, and then they realized he attacked somebody, and then they went over and tried to render aid, but it was too late. Here's this animal, and these are his 14 mugshots. I don't care if the screen is all messed up. Explain to me why somebody can have this many mugshots and still be in a free and fair and civil society. I get it. If you commit one crime, you do your time, you are remorseful and you don't reoffend. I get those people, right? I'm not talking about those folks. I'm talking about animals, career criminals like this. This is what I'm talking about here. But I'm supposed to be empathetic, right? So I want to talk to all the people out there who got Ukrainian flags in their bio, to the ones out there waving flags and protesting when President Trump met with President Putin up in Alaska, to the folks who stood shoulder to shoulder with Joe Biden defending every single one of his mush brain policies during his presidency. Where are you now? Why are you so quiet? Because let's keep it real. This tragedy never needed to happen. This beautiful Ukrainian immigrant, Irana Zuraka, lost her life at the hands of an animal. And y'all, the same people who scream about, oh, let's stand with Ukraine, got nothing to say when an actual Ukrainian woman is murdered here in America. Where are your hashtags now? Where's the candlelight visual? Where's the condemnation? All I hear is silence, dead silence. You can barely find any national press on this. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't care about race. Race is not an issue for me in any of these instances. I've been consistent. It's about right and wrong. Right is right, wrong is wrong. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're Latino. I don't care if you're Asian. I don't care if you're a Martian. If you have pink polka dots, I don't care. You committed a violent crime and you need to be held accountable, period. That's the line. And this monster, whose name, of course, I will never give power to, had 14 prior arrests. 14. That's not a mistake. That's a career. That's a resume in criminality. And yet, a DEI-driven judge thought it be compassionate to let him back out into society. I don't understand why judges aren't held accountable when they see a rap sheet that long and think that somebody should be let back out into a civil society. That ain't compassion. That's cruelty in disguise. That's negligence dressed up in woke language. And now a young woman has lost her life. And I want to apologize to you, Irania, because the American legal system failed you. And now let me turn to the mayor of Charlotte. The same mayor who wants folks to stop sharing this video. I guess this is her way of doing damage control, trying to protect the criminal. You think hiding the truth helps the victim's family? No. Could you imagine? She came over here for a better life and got snuffed out for no reason, no damn reason. How does that help the community? What these people are protecting is the narrative. They're also protecting the money. You don't want to see the reality of what soft on crime policies look like. Well, here it is. This is it, raw and uncut. That's what it looks like. No cap. See, here's the thing. Arresting people is the solution. Locking up violent criminals is the solution. I don't cry for somebody's trauma story when they're out here making victims. I don't care what his daddy did or what his mommy didn't do or how many hugs he didn't get. I don't care about anybody's childhood grievances. The moment you pick up a weapon, the moment you cross that line, you made your decision. And let's be clear, the 13th Amendment laid it out. Slavery and involuntary servitude are banned except as punishment for a crime. That's what the law says. So don't cry to me about this man's so-called suffering when he chose to inflict suffering on an innocent woman. At that point, empathy is off the table. This wasn't a man who needed rehabilitation. This wasn't a man who just lost his way. No. This was a professional criminal. This was criminality 101. His business was destruction. And when you got that kind of resume, you don't get another chance to, quote, reform. You forfeited that after your second offense. Compassion without justice? That's not love. That's cruelty. And the Bible backs that up. Romans 13 is plain. Rulers are supposed to punish evil and protect the innocent. That's the government's job. Protect the people who follow the law, punish the ones who don't. It's very simple. It's very simple. I'm not speaking any like rocket science here, but instead, too many of these cities take millions of dollars in federal money under the promise of, quote, combating crime. And then what do they do with it? They cut cops. They turn judges into social workers. They let offenders back onto the streets. And the cost is always paid in innocent blood. So to those who were flying the Ukrainian flag when it was trendy, don't disappear now. If you cared then, you damn sure should care now. Because it wasn't a battlefield in Europe. This was a train in North Carolina, and an innocent life was taken. We've got to stop pretending that criminals are victims. And we've got to stop electing leaders who think protecting predators is more important than protecting people. Irania, we speak your name. May your memory be a reminder that justice matters, accountability matters, and silence in the face of evil is complicity. This is so stupid. Should have never happened. But here we go. Here we go. Pointing out the obvious, pointing out the stupidity, pointing out the hypocrisy, pointing out the illogic, the inconsistency in logic. Could you imagine if this was a black woman sitting there, hard day of work? She sat there on the train and some deranged white man came up behind her and stabbed her. This would have been wall to wall news. And I hate to make it about race because I don't, like I said in the beginning, I don't want to make it about race, but this is the unfortunate incident we're in with our media. The media is in the business of trashing white people for some reason at this point. I guess because they're making up for history of trashing too many black people. I don't know. But it's stupid. As I said, right is right and wrong is wrong. There's no middle ground in that. There's no middle ground. I have no empathy for perpetrators. If this was your aunt, if this was your daughter, this was your sister, your wife, somebody you loved, you wouldn't be sitting here talking about, yeah, but you had a hard childhood. You don't give a damn what kind of childhood a person has who violates your family member. I don't give a damn what happened to you. I don't give a damn. You are responsible for yourself. Once you become an adult, you can't lean on childhood traumas anymore. That's no longer an acceptable excuse. Fix it. Or do your best to fix it. But don't sit here and think I'm going to cry for you, Argentina, because I'm not. Never going to. Will never. And that's our show for today. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you would like to support the channel, you can buy some merch at AJsRANTroom.com. That's AJsRANTroom.com. One note. So the rant experience is supposed to be tonight, but it's football season. So we're gonna do two things. The first thing is, so there won't be a show tonight. The rant experience will be tomorrow night, and then we'll be back on Monday, next Monday, because I didn't have enough notice to pre-record the show and then present it, and so we'll be live tomorrow, and then the show will be back the following Monday and every subsequent Monday for the rest of the season, unless otherwise announced. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you. And I will catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.